Have you ever felt like you're doing all the right things, brushing your teeth, taking your vitamins, showering regularly, but still struggling with low energy, nagging aches, or recurring infections? Here's something that might surprise you. What if the real problem isn't what you're not doing, but what you're overlooking? Tiny daily hygiene habits that seem insignificant, but could quietly be affecting your health, your energy, and even how long you live. Hi, I'm glad you're here, especially if you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, because today's video may just change the way you think about self-care in your golden years. You see, most hygiene routines we've had for decades were built when we were younger, more resilient, and frankly, didn't have to think twice about balance, circulation, or our immune system. But as we age, our bodies change, and so should the way we care for them. Recent insights from geriatric specialists and medical researchers reveal a surprising truth. Neglecting certain often forgotten body parts can contribute to serious health issues like chronic inflammation, infections, or even heart complications. But here's the good news. The solution is simple. You don't need expensive products, fancy gadgets, or an hour-long skincare routine. What you do need is a few minutes a day and a little intention, especially in 5 specific areas of your body that most people ignore. So if you're ready to take small steps that can lead to big improvements in your vitality, independence, and well-being, stay with me. Because what you'll learn today could add more comfort and maybe even more years to your life. Let's get started. 1. Your tongue, the forgotten bacteria filter that impacts your entire body. Now let's start with something you probably haven't thought about in years. Your tongue. Most of us were taught to brush our teeth, floss when we remember, maybe rinse with mouthwash. But what about the tongue? It's not just there to help us taste or talk. In fact, it may be one of the most overlooked contributors to chronic health issues, especially as we get older. Think about this. Your tongue is like the air filter in your furnace. You can keep your floors clean, wipe down surfaces, but if you never change that filter, what happens? Dust builds up. Airflow suffers. The system gets stressed. Your body works the same way. Medical research and decades of dental studies show that the tongue harbors hundreds of strains of bacteria, some harmless, some not. And as we age, we produce less saliva, which naturally flushes away bacteria. That means the tongue becomes a hotspot for harmful buildup. What's the risk? More than just bad breath. Bacteria on the tongue can migrate into the bloodstream, especially if your gums are inflamed. This can lead to a higher risk of heart disease, worsening of diabetes symptoms, and even respiratory infections, all of which are more dangerous for older adults. The good news? Cleaning your tongue is fast, simple, and free. You don't need a dentist's appointment or a prescription. Just a few minutes each morning and evening with a basic tongue scraper, which you can find at any drugstore for a few bucks. Gently scraping from the back of the tongue forward helps remove the white or yellow film, mostly dead cells, food particles, and bacteria that accumulates overnight. If you've got a sensitive gag reflex, no problem. Start in the middle and work backward gradually. Think of it as a new habit, just like you learned to floss. And if you're wondering whether it's worth the effort, just ask anyone who's tried it. Many older adults say their sense of taste improved dramatically after a few weeks. Coffee tasted richer. Fruit became more flavorful. Food enjoyment returned, something we often don't even realize we've lost. Plus, let's talk about confidence. Chronic bad breath, halitosis, is often caused by tongue bacteria. Toothpaste won't fix it alone. But a clean tongue, that's a game changer, especially if you're spending time with grandkids, friends, or even just out shopping. Remember, your immune system is already working hard to keep you safe as you age. Don't give it extra work by letting bacteria fester in your mouth. This small hygiene habit takes less than 3 minutes but can make a real difference. So tonight, before you brush your teeth, take a moment to give your tongue the attention it deserves. It might just be one of the easiest ways to protect your health and enjoy your food again. 2. Your feet, the often neglected foundation of lifelong health. Let's talk about your feet. Yes, the very foundation that carries you through every step of life, literally. As we age, foot care often falls to the bottom of the self-care list. A quick rinse in the shower, maybe a swipe of lotion if the skin feels dry. But here's the truth. Neglecting your feet can quietly sabotage your balance, mobility, and even your independence. Now consider this. Each of your feet contains 26 bones, 33 joints, and over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments. That's a quarter of all the bones in your body. These complex structures work hard every day to support your weight, keep you moving, and help you stay steady on your feet. So when something goes wrong, say dry skin, nerve issues, or fungal infections, the ripple effects are real. And here's something many people don't realize. Your feet are often the first place to show signs of serious health issues. Swelling, numbness, redness, or even cold toes can indicate circulation problems or early nerve damage, especially for folks with diabetes or heart conditions. One retiree I spoke with, Tom, 73, said he thought his foot pain and balance issues were just part of getting older, until he developed a stubborn fungal infection between his toes. It wasn't until his doctor stressed the importance of daily foot hygiene and drying thoroughly between the toes that his condition began to improve. And so did his stability. So what can you do? First, clean your feet intentionally. Don't assume standing in the shower gets the job done. Use a soft washcloth with mild soap to clean all around. Top, soles, heels, and especially between the toes. This is where bacteria and fungi love to hide. Second, dry your feet completely. Think of how damp clothes left in a pile start to smell musty. Your feet can do the same. Gently pat dry and take a moment to separate each toe to ensure there's no lingering moisture. If you wear socks and shoes for hours, trapped moisture can lead to infections or even painful cracks. Third, moisturize wisely. Yes, the skin on our feet gets drier with age. Use a small amount of fragrance-free lotion on the tops and bottoms of your feet, but never between the toes. That space needs to stay dry to prevent fungal growth. Finally, do a quick daily foot check. Any new redness, cuts that don't heal, or sudden changes in temperature or color? Don't ignore them. These could be early warning signs of diabetes-related complications, nerve damage, or circulation problems. Taking 5 minutes a day to care for your feet might sound small, but it can prevent falls, improve mobility, and even give you back some of the freedom and confidence that aging can slowly take away. So tonight, when you sit down to relax, give your feet a little extra attention. Your future self will thank you. 3. Underarms, the forgotten immune center hidden beneath the surface. When most people think about their underarms, one thing usually comes to mind. Deodorant, maybe even antiperspirant on hot days or before a doctor's appointment. But there's so much more going on in this area of the body than most of us realize, especially as we age. Your underarms aren't just a sweat zone. They're home to a complex network of lymph nodes, which are part of your body's immune and detoxification system. These small but powerful structures help filter out waste, toxins, and harmful invaders from your bloodstream. In a way, your armpits are like traffic hubs for immune function, quietly working behind the scenes to keep your body clean and responsive. But what happens when this area is neglected? As we get older, our skin becomes more sensitive and our immune systems slow down. That means clogged pores, trapped sweat, and years of residue from deodorants and antiperspirants can do more damage than we might expect. Inflammation, rashes, and even painful underarm cysts can form if we don't clean and care for this area the right way. Let me share a quick story. Olivia, a 65-year-old retired teacher, thought the red, itchy bumps under her arms were just a part of aging skin. But after switching to a gentler soap and taking a few extra seconds to rinse and dry thoroughly, her discomfort vanished within weeks. Turns out years of skipping proper underarm washing had allowed buildup to linger. So, what should you do? Start in the shower with warm, not hot water. Heat helps open the pores and soften residue. Use a soft washcloth or your fingers with a gentle, fragrance-free cleanser. Avoid harsh scrubbing. The skin under your arms is thinner and more delicate than you might think. Wash in multiple directions, circular up and down and side to side, to reach deep into folds and pores. Think of it like polishing fine silver. You want to be thorough but careful. Rinse completely. Soap residue can irritate the skin and trap bacteria if it's not fully washed away. Dry thoroughly with a clean towel. Just like wet laundry left in a pile starts to smell and grow mildew, damp underarms become a breeding ground for bacteria. Gently pat dry, don't rub, and give your skin a few seconds to air out before applying any product. And speaking of products, take a moment to reconsider what you're using. Many antiperspirants contain aluminum-based compounds that block sweat glands. While helpful short-term, long-term use without proper cleansing can lead to clogged pores and irritation. Consider switching to aluminum-free options or even going without occasionally, especially on days you're home and can let your skin breathe. When you start giving your underarms a little extra care, many people report unexpected benefits: less irritation, smoother skin, and even improved body odor. More importantly, you're helping your immune system stay clear and efficient. Remember, sometimes the areas we overlook are doing the most behind the scenes. So next time you hop in the shower, don't forget to give your underarms the attention they quietly deserve. 4. Your nose, the natural air filter that deserves more attention. You take about 20,000 breaths every single day, but when was the last time you thought about how well you're breathing? If you're like most people, especially in your later years, you might just chalk up stuffy mornings or shallow breathing to aging, allergies, or even old habits. But what if your nasal hygiene had more to do with it than you realized? Think of your nose as your body's frontline air filter. Just like the filter in your home's HVAC system catches dust, pollen, and pollutants, your nose works around the clock to trap airborne irritants before they ever reach your lungs. But here's the problem. Your nasal passages can become clogged too. As we age, our mucous membranes become drier, we produce less moisture naturally, and our immune response weakens. That means dust, allergens, and even bacteria are more likely to linger in our nose, leading to issues like congestion, sinus pressure, snoring, dry mouth, and even disrupted sleep. One retired gardener I know, Bella, 76, always assumed her morning cotton head feeling was just part of getting older. But once she began a daily nasal rinse routine, she noticed a dramatic improvement in her clarity and energy, even before her first cup of coffee. So how do you take care of this built-in air filter? Start with a simple warm water rinse in the morning. Just splashing water over and around your nostrils helps remove overnight mucus and trapped particles. Add a saline nasal spray or a neti pot to your routine. Saline spray is like giving your nose a refreshing shower, clearing allergens, improving airflow, and keeping tissues hydrated. If you have seasonal allergies or chronic stuffiness, a neti pot, a small teapot-like device, can flush your sinuses more deeply. Always use distilled or previously boiled water with a sterile saline solution to avoid introducing harmful organisms. Practice safe nose blowing. Many people blow their nose too hard, which can force mucus deeper into the sinuses. Instead, gently blow one nostril at a time into a soft tissue. Then wash your hands thoroughly. This is especially important during cold and flu season. Breathe in steam occasionally. A warm shower or a bowl of steaming water with a towel over your head can loosen stubborn mucus. Add a drop or two of eucalyptus or peppermint oil for a refreshing boost. Just don't get too close to the hot water. And if you live in a dry climate or keep your home heated in winter, nasal dryness can be a real issue. A dab of coconut oil or vitamin E, applied with a clean cotton swab, can keep your nasal lining comfortable and intact. The benefits? You may experience less congestion, deeper sleep, clearer thinking, and fewer respiratory infections, just by keeping your nasal passages clean and supported. So the next time you take a deep breath, think about how much your nose is doing to protect you, and consider giving it just a few minutes of care each day in return. 5. Your belly button, the small spot that can cause big problems if ignored. Let's be honest, how often do you clean your belly button? If your answer is, I'm not sure, you're not alone. For most people, especially those over 65, the belly button is one of those body parts that slips through the cracks, literally and figuratively. But despite its small size, it plays a surprisingly important role in overall hygiene and comfort. Your belly button is essentially a small, enclosed pocket of skin, and like any hidden, moist area on the body, it's prone to collecting sweat, oil, dead skin cells, and even bacteria or fungus. Over time, this can lead to odor, irritation, and in some cases, infection. Jane, a 78-year-old retiree, shared a story that may sound familiar. She kept noticing a faint musty smell, especially in warmer months. She thought it was her clothes or perhaps even her diet. But after her doctor suggested paying closer attention to her navel during her hygiene routine, the problem disappeared, literally overnight. Here's why this happens. As we age, our skin becomes thinner, and natural exfoliation slows down. This means debris doesn't slough off as easily, and areas like the belly button become prime real estate for bacterial growth. If you've ever had an itchy or red belly button and thought it was from a waistband or detergent, there's a chance it may have simply been hygiene-related. So what's the proper way to care for it? First, gently clean your belly button with warm water and mild soap. You can use a soft washcloth or a cotton swab for more precise cleaning. If your navel is deep, be especially thorough but gentle. Don't use sharp objects or dig around. Second, make sure to dry the area completely. Trapped moisture can create the perfect environment for fungal growth. A soft towel or tissue works fine. Even letting the area air dry for a minute or two before dressing can make a difference. Third, inspect the area occasionally. Any redness, discharge, pain, or a foul smell could be a sign of a bacterial or yeast infection. Especially important to watch for if you have diabetes or a weakened immune system. And if you have a navel piercing, even one from years ago, it still requires basic maintenance. The piercing hole never fully closes and can trap sweat and oils. Clean gently around the jewelry with a cotton swab and rinse with warm water regularly. The good news is that this small hygiene habit takes under a minute and can prevent discomfort, odor, or more serious complications down the road. Sometimes it's the least visible parts of the body that make the biggest difference in how we feel. So tonight, take an extra moment to check in with the part of your body that's been quietly collecting debris for decades. A clean belly button may not seem glamorous, but it might be the final touch to a truly complete self-care routine. So let's bring it all together. Your tongue, feet, underarms, nose, and even your belly button, 5 parts of the body most people barely think about, can quietly influence how you feel, how you age, and even how long you stay active and independent. The truth is, you don't need expensive treatments, complicated routines, or a bathroom full of products. What you need is consistency, awareness, and a few mindful minutes each day. Because in this stage of life, the small stuff is the big stuff. When you take care of these overlooked areas, you're doing more than just staying clean. You're supporting your immune system, improving circulation, reducing your risk of infections, and helping your body function at its best. Just ask the many older adults who've seen improvements in balance, breath, sleep quality, and even confidence, simply by being more intentional about daily hygiene. These aren't radical changes. They're easy, sustainable habits that can ripple outward into everything from your energy levels to your peace of mind. So here's your invitation. Try it for 1 week. Pick 1 or 2 areas we discussed and add them to your routine. Then come back and share what you noticed. Did your feet feel less achy? Did your breath feel fresher? Did your sleep improve? And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It helps more people discover content that's truly useful. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a tip that could make life a little healthier, easier, and longer. Thanks for watching, and here's to a cleaner, stronger, and more vibrant you, starting today.